Alright, here we go. Actor-comedian Russell Brand has been accused of rape, sexual assaults, and emotional abuse during a 7-year period at the height of his fame. Now, as somebody who never really cared for Russell Brand, in recent times I have actually been prone to watch his YouTube channel because he has a lot of great information. He calls out a lot of crooked people in politics, in media, celebrities. I mean, he has a lot of good information. He also has 7 million subscribers, and he doesn't talk favorably about any of these crooked people, which puts a target on his back. It was honestly just a matter of time before they tried to frame Russell Brand for something. That was going to happen regardless. The problem I guess I have is trying to determine if any of these things actually did happen or didn't happen. Speaking to his character, I'm really not... I mean, nobody can really know unless you know him personally. All of that aside, there are 4 women alleging sexual assaults between 2006 and 2013. Now, during that time, Brand says himself, he stated in a recent YouTube video that
I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
One woman alleges that Brand raped her against a wall in his Los Angeles home, and she was treated at a rape crisis center on the same day. That's what the Sunday Times says. You know, I'd like to see the documentation behind that. If that's true, that would be hard to argue. I mean, the Times say they have medical records to support this, but you cannot trust any media outlets, so, you know, back to square one on really trying to figure out what actually happened here. The second woman alleges Brand assaulted her when he was in his early 30s and she was 16 and still at school. She says he referred to her as, quote-unquote, the child, during an emotionally abusive and controlling relationship. The pattern here seems to be emotionally controlling and abusive, and that he kind of just takes what he wants when he wants it. The third woman claims Brand sexually assaulted her while working with him in Los Angeles, and that he threatened to take legal action if she said anything about this. The fourth woman alleged being sexually assaulted by Brand and him being physically and emotionally abusive towards her. Once again, physically and emotionally abusive. It almost sounds like somebody told them to say that. That's just coming from my opinion. I'm not certain, I have no idea, but it does seem a little bit scripted. The fact that they use the same exact terms. However, still, I mean, he could be just an emotionally and physically abusive person, and that's the pattern here. But I'm really not certain of that. Brand stated that during his time of promiscuity, that the relationships he had were always consensual. But of course, that's what he's going to say. While not referring to the comedian by name, the Metropolitan Police said, and I quote, that they were aware of media reporting of a series of allegations of sexual assault, but that they had not received any reports. That in and of itself is quite strange, considering you would report it to the police, I would assume, before going to the media outlets. You would want to file a police report or have some type of validity behind this. The police also said if anyone believes they had been the victim of sexual assault, no matter how long ago it happened, they'd encourage them to contact the police. So obviously none of these 4 women contacted the police first before contacting the media or working with the media or whatever is going on here. And the Sunday Times, you know, if you can trust what they're saying, said all the women felt ready to speak only after being approached by reporters. The newspaper said several felt compelled to do so given Brand's newfound prominence as an online wellness influencer. Okay, well, he's been famous forever, and his YouTube channel's been exploding for a while now, and it took the reporters first going to them, not them going to the reporters going to them to get them to spill their guts? For all we know, the Sunday Times promised them money or under the table or some type of, incentive to go along with these claims just based on them knowing him and them being able to link them to him. if they felt the need to out him now because of him being a wellness influencer, why now? Why after the Sunday Times approached them? You think that they would have already all been so upset that they would just go to a media outlet themselves or the police? Two of the women used the same exact cliche terms, physically and emotionally abusive. It's almost like it was coached, like the reporters or the agents, whoever's working for the Sunday Times, like coached them into what they should say. And then the Sunday Times said it gave Brand 8 days within which to reply to detailed allegations. It's like, what, the Sunday Times, they're the ones running the show here? They decide who, when, what, where, and how? Here's a part that does not look good for Brand. The woman who was 16 when she met Brand told the Times she took her allegations to his literary agent and the co-founder of Tavistock Wood, owned by Curtis Brown, in 2020. Tavistock Wood told the BBC Russell Brand categorically and vehemently denied the allegation made in 2020, but we now believe we were horribly misled by him. So it's either the Sunday Times are working with this Tavistock Wood, or they actually started looking into messages, emails, and they came across some damning evidence that pointed towards Russell. Channel 4 told the BBC News that they were appalled to learn about these deeply troubling accusations, including the behavior alleged to have taken place on the programs made for Channel 4 between 2004 and 2007. They do state they carried out extensive document searches and found no evidence to suggest the alleged incidents were even brought to the attention of Channel 4. Apparently, they're even asking the production company who produced the programs for Channel 4 to investigate these allegations and report their findings properly. So, we might see more come out about this. The relationship with a 16-year-old is allegedly to have taken place at a time when Brand was working as a presenter on BBC Radio 6 Music. With the information present now, and with everything we know when it comes to corruption with politics, media, and celebrities, it's really hard to draw a final conclusion. We may never see the whole picture. However, I think that maybe in the coming days, weeks, or months, a lot more will come out about this, and we will be able to draw our own conclusions on what actually happened, whether it be corruption or whether Russell Brand has actually taken place in these assaults, which I hope not. I watch his channel myself, and I'm hoping that, his name is cleared. I do know this. There's a lot of corruption and a lot of framing going on lately, and I also know there's a lot of people that act nice that don't like to take no for an answer. So for myself, to draw my own conclusion, I'm going to need more evidence.
Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack.